and you also find people of opposing views. They just come in, right? The government should reduce taxes, we should spend more. That's the way to go through. The IMF does not know what it's doing, all these things. So I'm always like saying, of course, we should decreasing taxes and increasing expenditure is always good, but they never explain how you do it. How do you do it? So if this was that simple, any government would do it. So I'll give you a few options of how to do this, and all of them are almost impossible. One is, of course, we can increase revenue, increase taxes, which will not be popular among the people. The other thing is reducing expenditure. How can you reduce expenditure? About 80% of expenditure in this country is recurrent expenditure. That is salaries, pensions, state sector employees, and the other one is interest payments. So we can't touch on that. It's very difficult to reduce salaries or lay people off. That's unpopular. The other thing is capital expenditure. If you don't spend it, the economy won't grow. So currently, even the 4% allocated was underutilized. That's why we have a massive primary surplus. But that is good because that's helping us during the flood. But in the long term, underutilization of capital will have an effect on growth. So that is the second option. Of course, you will agree that is not popular. Third option, how to do all this, is privatization. So of course, that is also would be unpopular. There would be groups protesting, but at the same time, privatization will not cover everything. We don't have that much institutions which we can sell to cover the level of debt we have. The other is restructuring domestic debt. So domestic debt, most of the domestic debt is bought by banks and others. So you restructure that, these banks will go down, and with that, most of our deposits and others. So fourth option is out. So last thing is, of course, as we saw the example, we can change the central bank. Right now, we can't do it and start printing money. But we saw in 2022 what happened when we started printing money. The prices went up. Though we say supply chain issues, COVID also hit India, Bangladesh, Singapore, everyone. Their prices didn't go up like prices of food didn't double or triple. Only in Sri Lanka it did, because we just went on printing money. Not an option. So people who criticize the IMF or say we shouldn't be doing this, other than the 5 options, if they can come up, that will be wonderful. That will be something that we can all think of. But it's not possible. That is why governments function the way they function, because it's very difficult to move. So these are some of the options. Everything will have a bad effect.